There are people watching this right now who are smiling on the outside, but silently falling apart on the inside. People who are exhausted from pretending everything is okay. People who wake up every morning feeling stuck, unmotivated, and disconnected from the life they once dreamed about. Maybe that person is you. Maybe you're tired of starting over. Tired of watching months and years disappear while your goals remain unfinished. Tired of feeling like you were meant for more, but somehow trapped in the same cycle every single day. And the hardest part is that nobody sees the battle happening inside your mind. Nobody sees the nights you question yourself, the fear, the pressure, the frustration of knowing you have potential but not knowing how to unlock it. But listen carefully. What if the next 30 days could change everything? What if one decision, one shift in mindset, 1 month of discipline could completely transform the direction of your life? Because the truth is, most people are only a few habits away from a different future, a few decisions away from confidence, a few disciplined days away from becoming someone they no longer recognize. And in this video, you are going to discover why some people remain trapped for years, while others completely rebuild their lives in a single month. You are going to understand how habits shape destiny, how fear destroys potential, how mindset controls success, and why the person you become over the next 30 days may determine the next 30 years of your life. So, before you skip this video, before you tell yourself, I'll change tomorrow, ask yourself one question. How much longer are you willing to live beneath your true potential? Because by the end of this message, you may realize that the life you want has been waiting for you to make one powerful decision the entire time. Most people believe their future is shaped by one big opportunity, one lucky break, or one powerful moment. But the truth is far simpler and far more powerful. Your life is built through habits. The small things you repeat every single day eventually become the foundation of your success or the reason for your struggles. A person does not suddenly become confident, wealthy, healthy, or disciplined overnight. Those outcomes are created slowly through repeated actions that may seem insignificant in the moment. The way you wake up in the morning, the way you manage your time, the food you eat, the thoughts you allow into your mind, the effort you give when nobody is watching, these habits silently shape your future day after day. Many people underestimate the power of small actions because they do not see immediate results. They quit too early because the progress feels invisible. But habits work like planting seeds. At first, nothing appears to change. Then over time, the results begin to grow so strongly that they can no longer be ignored. A person who reads 10 pages a day may not feel smarter after 1 week, but after 1 year. Rethink their thinking, confidence, and knowledge can completely transform. A person who saves a little money consistently may not feel rich at first, but eventually they create financial freedom. In the same way, negative habits slowly destroy potential. Wasting hours every day, procrastinating, complaining, avoiding responsibility, and feeding the mind negativity may seem harmless in small amounts, but repeated over months and years, they create a painful reality. Your habits are always working for you or against you. That is why successful people become extremely intentional about their routines. They understand that discipline repeated daily creates momentum, and momentum creates transformation. The key is not trying to change your entire life in 1 day. The key is changing what you repeatedly do every day. When your habits improve, your mindset improves. When your mindset improves, your decisions improve. And when your decisions improve, your entire life begins moving in a new direction because every repeated action becomes evidence of the person you are becoming. Your mindset is the invisible force that shapes every part of your life. Before success appears on the outside, it is first created inside the mind. The way you think about yourself influences the choices you make, the risks you take, the goals you chase, and the limits you accept. Many people stay trapped in the same life not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they have trained their mind to expect failure, fear rejection, and doubt their own potential. A person who constantly thinks, I'm not good enough, will hesitate when opportunities appear. They will avoid challenges, overthink decisions, and settle for less because their mindset convinces them they are incapable of more. On the other hand, someone who believes growth is possible begins to act differently. They approach problems with confidence, recover faster from setbacks, and continue moving forward even when life becomes difficult. Mindset controls direction because thoughts eventually become actions and actions create results. If your mind is filled with negativity, excuses, and fear, your life will slowly move in that same direction. But if your mind is focused on growth, discipline, faith, and possibility, your actions begin aligning with success. This is why successful people protect their thoughts carefully. They understand that the mind is like fertile ground. Whatever you plant repeatedly will eventually grow. Constant exposure to negativity, criticism, and self-doubt creates mental weakness, while positive thinking combined with action creates emotional strength and resilience. Your mindset also determines how you respond to failure. Some people experience one setback and decide to quit because they see failure as proof they cannot succeed. Others experience the same setback and see it as a lesson that prepares them for something greater. The situation may be identical, but the mindset creates completely different outcomes. Changing your life often begins with changing the story you tell yourself every day. Instead of focusing on limitations, you begin focusing on possibilities. Instead of seeing obstacles as permanent, you start seeing them as temporary challenges. The moment your thinking changes, your behavior changes. You begin speaking differently, carrying yourself differently, and making decisions from a place of belief rather than fear, because your mind starts creating a new standard for what you believe is possible for your future. Discipline is one of the most powerful forces behind long-term success, because it keeps a person moving forward even when motivation disappears. Most people depend too heavily on emotions to guide their actions. They wait to feel inspired before they work, excited before they start, or confident before they commit. But emotions are temporary and unpredictable. Some days you feel energized and focused, while other days you feel tired, distracted, and discouraged. If your progress depends only on motivation, your consistency will constantly rise and fall. Discipline is different because it teaches you to act regardless of how you feel. It creates stability in moments when emotions become unreliable. A disciplined person understands that success is not built on occasional bursts of effort but on repeated actions performed day after day. Going to the gym once when you feel motivated will not transform your body, just like working hard for one day will not transform your future. Real change happens when you continue showing up even when nobody is watching, even when results are slow, and even when excuses feel easier. Discipline trains the mind to prioritize long-term rewards over short-term comfort. Most people choose comfort because it feels good in the moment. They delay important tasks, waste time, avoid challenges, and tell themselves they will start tomorrow. But tomorrow becomes next week, next month, and eventually another wasted year. Discipline breaks that cycle by teaching you to take control of your actions instead of allowing emotions to control you. It creates self-respect because every time you keep a promise to yourself, your confidence grows stronger. You begin trusting yourself more because your actions prove that you are serious about your goals. Discipline also creates freedom. Many people believe discipline is restrictive, but the opposite is true. A disciplined person gains freedom from procrastination, financial stress, unhealthy habits, and regret. They build stronger routines, healthier lifestyles, and greater emotional control. Over time, discipline becomes part of identity rather than something forced. The person no longer waits for perfect conditions because they understand that growth requires consistency in both odd days and difficult days. While motivation may help you start, discipline is what keeps you going when the excitement fades, the challenges increase, and the journey becomes uncomfortable, because true transformation belongs to those who continue moving forward long after temporary emotions disappear. Your environment has a powerful influence on the person you become because human beings naturally absorb the energy, habits, and beliefs that surround them every day. Many people try to change their lives without changing the environment that keeps pulling them backward. They want success while staying connected to negativity, distraction, and unhealthy influences. Over time, the people you spend time with, the conversations you listen to, the content you consume, and the atmosphere around you begin shaping your mindset without you even realizing it. If you constantly hear doubt, complaints, excuses, and fear, your mind slowly starts accepting those patterns as normal. On the other hand, when you surround yourself with ambitious, disciplined, and growth-focused energy, your standards begin to rise naturally. Environment affects behavior because people adapt to what feels familiar. Someone who spends time around motivated individuals often feels inspired to improve, while someone trapped in toxic surroundings may slowly lose confidence, focus, and hope. This influence extends beyond people. Your digital environment matters as well. What you watch on social media, the music you listen to, the videos you consume, and the information you feed your mind all shape your thoughts and emotions. If your mind is constantly filled with negativity, comparison, and distraction, it becomes difficult to stay focused on growth and purpose. Successful people understand this deeply, which is why they intentionally protect their environment. They choose conversations that encourage growth, routines that create discipline, and spaces that help them stay productive and mentally strong. So, many times changing your life requires creating distance from people or habits that no longer support your future. That can be difficult because comfort often exists in familiar environments, even unhealthy ones. But growth requires courage. A person cannot continue living in negativity and expect positivity to dominate their mindset. Environment silently influences decisions, energy levels, self-belief, and emotional health. Even small environmental changes can create powerful transformation over time. A clean workspace can improve focus. Positive friendships can increase confidence. Inspirational content can strengthen motivation. Peaceful surroundings can improve mental clarity. Every environment either feeds your potential or weakens it. That is why protecting your environment is not selfish, it is necessary for growth. The quality of your future often depends on the quality of what surrounds your mind every single day, because eventually your environment begins shaping your habits, your thinking, your identity, and the direction your life continues moving toward. Fear is one of the greatest forces holding people back from the life they truly want. It quietly controls decisions, limits potential, and keeps millions of people trapped inside comfort zones they secretly dislike. Many people are not failing because they lack ability or intelligence. They are failing because fear convinces them not to try. Fear of rejection stops people from speaking up. Fear of failure stops people from taking risks. Fear of judgment stops people from chasing bigger goals. Over time, these fears create a pattern of hesitation that slowly becomes a way of life. The dangerous part about fear is that it often feels safe to obey. Avoiding challenges may protect you from temporary discomfort, but it also protects you from growing. Opportunity and transformation. Every major achievement in life requires stepping into uncertainty. Nobody begins a new journey feeling fully prepared. The entrepreneur fears losing money. The speaker fears criticism. The athlete fears defeat. The dreamer fears disappointment. But successful people understand something important. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the decision to move forward despite fear. Fear loses power when you stop running from it and start facing it directly. The moment you confront what scares you, your confidence begins to grow. Confidence is built through action, not avoidance. Every difficult conversation you face, every challenge you attempt, and every risk you take strengthens your ability to handle uncertainty. People often imagine that fearless individuals were simply born different, but in reality, they trained themselves to act even when fear was present. Fear also creates mental prisons by making worst-case scenarios feel permanent and overwhelming. The mind exaggerates danger to keep you comfortable, even when comfort is destroying your future. Many people spend years waiting for fear to disappear before they take action, but that moment rarely comes. Growth begins the moment you decide that your dreams matter more than your excuses. Some of the greatest opportunities in life exist on the other side of discomfort. Facing fear teaches resilience, emotional strength, and self-belief, because each victory over fear proves that you are stronger than the limitations inside your mind. Every time you choose courage over comfort, you expand your potential and move closer to becoming the person you were capable of becoming, because the life you want cannot be reached by continuously hiding from the situations that challenge you the most. A lasting change in life begins when a person changes their identity. Many people focus only on changing temporary behaviors without changing the way they see themselves. They try to improve their habits while still believing they are lazy, weak, unlucky, or incapable. As a result, they eventually return to old patterns because the mind naturally pulls people back toward the identity they accept as true. Real transformation happens when you stop identifying with the version of yourself that created your current struggles and begin becoming the person you truly want to be. A person who wants success must start seeing themselves as disciplined. A person who wants confidence must stop speaking and thinking like someone defeated. Your identity influences your actions because people consistently behave in ways that match the image they hold of themselves. If someone believes they are unmotivated, they will continue making excuses. If someone believes they are strong, focused, and capable, their actions slowly begin reflecting those beliefs. This is why changing identity is more powerful than forcing short-term motivation. Motivation fades, but identity shapes daily behavior automatically. The process does not happen overnight. It begins with small decisions repeated consistently. Every positive action becomes evidence of the person you are becoming. Waking up early, keeping promises to yourself, staying disciplined, and facing challenges all reinforce a stronger identity. Over time, your confidence grows because your actions prove that you are no longer the same person mentally or emotionally. Many people remain trapped in old versions of themselves because they constantly repeat negative stories about their past failures, weaknesses, or mistakes. They allow old experiences to define their future identity. But your past does not have to become your permanent identity unless you continue carrying it into every new opportunity. To create a new life, you must think differently, speak differently, and behave differently long before major results appear. This requires faith and patience because transformatio and often begins internally before it becomes visible externally. The strongest people understand that success is not only about achieving goals, it is about becoming someone capable of sustaining those goals. When identity changes, priorities change, habits change, and standards change naturally. A new identity creates a new mindset, and that mindset begins shaping every decision, relationship, and action in a completely different direction, because the life you experience on the outside is often a reflection of the person you believe yourself to be on the inside. In the end, changing your life is not about waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect conditions. It is about making a decision, a real decision, the kind of decision that changes the way you think, act, and live every single day. The next 30 days can either become another chapter of excuses, fear, and delay, or they can become the beginning of a completely new life. The choice is yours. Nobody can walk this path for you. Nobody can unlock your potential except you. Deep inside, you already know there is a stronger, wiser, more powerful version of yourself waiting to rise. Stop doubting your ability to become that person. Stop allowing fear to control your future. Stop settling for a life that does not reflect your true potential. Every sunrise is another opportunity to rebuild yourself. Every disciplined action is another step toward greatness. And every day you refuse to quit, you become stronger than the person you were yesterday. Remember this: small changes repeated daily create massive transformation over time. Stay focused when progress feels slow. Stay disciplined when motivation disappears. Stay faithful when challenges appear. Because one day, all the sacrifices, struggles, and hard work will finally make sense. One day you will look back and realize that the moment you decided to change your habits, your mindset, and your identity was the exact moment your entire life began changing. I wish you strength during difficult days, confidence during uncertain moments, and success in every dream you are brave enough to chase. Good luck on your journey toward a better life and a stronger future. Thank you so much for listening and spending your valuable time here. If this message inspired you, motivated you, or helped you in any way, make sure to follow and support the channel Mind Wealth Theory for more powerful motivational speeches and life-changing inspiration that will keep pushing you toward the success you deserve.